we live in a very cynical, materialistic world in which people have either they don't have inspiration or they don't have models to follow, and it's particularly true for young people.
I was very tiny and I was very frail, and the age group of my class fellows, I was maybe 3 or 4 years below them. So I was an object of ridicule. And, I could have become a sufferer of inferiority complex because everybody was making jokes of me. Or I could do something in order to prove them wrong.
And inspiration is difficult, right? You can't buy it, you can't borrow it, you can't steal it. It has to come from a particular source. But then it does great things for you. If you're inspired, if you're mission driven, if you have certain passion and zeal, then you can accomplish great things. And being in Pakistan, I think we need that. The other side was, for a number of years I've been figuring out how Pakistan works and how it doesn't.
In Pakistan, unfortunately, the vested interests are so strong that they don't allow you to succeed in reforms because they are the losers. And the reform has losers who are organized and upfront, and the gainers are diffused throughout the society, and they are not organized at all.
Dr. Ishrat is of course a serial reformer, and he's worked in public sector, which is difficult.
This domination of an elite class in developing countries, which neglects the national interest but perpetuate their self-interest, their personal interest, is the major governance problem in the world. The countries which have done well, they have a shared growth model whereby the elites and the general public, they all share in the benefits of growth.
What came across is that he's very sincere. He believes in things, he's very principled. And if you see his refusals of position, you're going to see that. In our parts of the world, not just Pakistan, when people get to a position, they tend to keep it.
This country gave you education. This country provided you the opportunity to the civil service. This country invested in you by giving you scholarships to do your master's and PhD. This country allowed you to go and work for the World Bank. Now there is an obligation on your part also. You just don't take, you have to give also.
Whether it is people at the World Bank or the civil service or academia or politicians or businessmen or bankers, whoever I spoke to, they were unanimous in their praise for his approach, accessibility, his work ethic, his honesty, and of course he's brilliant.
After the nuclear blast, $11 billion of deposits of Pakistanis, residents and non-residents, were frozen. So there was a complete lack of confidence in the government. Then you had a coup by military, and military rules are not very popular. So all lines of credit were, completely blocked. That was the condition when I came to this country.
When you're faced with, a situation, you either have to go under it, around it, over it, or through it. And I think by reading this book, there's several areas, there's several moments that the reader comes upon in which Dr. Ishrat actually was able to do that.
There were ships carrying oil outside Kimadi, and we couldn't bring them to Kimadi Anchorage because we didn't have the money to pay for the LCs.
Most of his life has been spent in service, whether as a civil servant. Of course, at the World Bank, he was working towards poverty alleviation through his various roles. When you talk about the State Bank, he's talking about the economy of a nation. When you're talking about IBA, you're talking about educating people, young minds. So it's a life of service.
बट अगर आपकी नीयत साफ़ हो ना तो अल्लाह ताला भी आपकी गायबाना मदद करता है. In State Bank we had an outstanding amount which I didn't know in the US, which was not known to anyone कि वो हमारा पैसे वहाँ पड़े हुए हैं. And one day I get उस ज़माने में टैलेक्स होते थे, टैलेक्स saying कि ये तुम्हारे पैसे यहाँ पर रिलीज़ हो गए हैं, ये तुम्हारे अकाउंट में डाल रहे हैं. All of a sudden I said अल्लाह ताला का ये करम है कि हम यहाँ पर मर रहे हैं पैसे जमा करने के लिए और हमें एकदम से ये पैसे जो हमें पता भी नहीं थे कि कहाँ से आ रहे हैं वो पैसे आ गए. तो ये अल्लाह ताला भी आपकी गायबाना मदद करता है अगर आपकी नीयत साफ़ हो. ये बात हमें सोचनी चाहिए.
What he's doing now will manifest itself pretty soon, as it's already manifesting, but more will happen. And I found that to be very interesting. So besides learning about the man, I was also able to learn about the institutions that he influenced. So it's sort of a balanced study, and that's why the book is titled Works and Worlds, because both things are happening.
I could have failed, but at least I would have the satisfaction that I tried and failed. I'm not like those who sit in the armchairs, criticize everything, but when it comes to doing something, they say, no, 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 we don't want to do it. At least I have the satisfaction that I tried, and Allah Almighty was very kind. I think उसके बगैर तो कुछ नहीं हो सकता ना, उसने help किया.